What is the great state of Kentucky in the United States known for? Well, of course, it's known for the famous annual thoroughbred race at Churchill Downs near Lexington, Kentucky, called the Kentucky Derby. Kentucky is also known for the famous battle, the feud between the Hatfields and McCoys, hillbillies, coal mining, sadly, in recent years, the opiate crisis. Kentucky is also the home of 2 U.S. Army bases, Fort Campbell, the home of the 101st Airborne Division, and Fort Knox, built during the time of the First World War, where supposedly the U.S. guards its gold reserve. But another thing that Kentucky is known for, of course, is bourbon. Whiskey, whether made legally in a licensed distillery or up in the hills by moonshiners. And yes, moonshiners still exist. Although sadly, I'm afraid there are as many meth labs up in the hills now as there are whiskey stills. Fortunately, I'm very sure this contains no meth. But judging from the tin scent, it's got whiskey. The grind on this is the standard sort of Toque grind. It's medium, it's very moist, a very easy sniff if you take care with it. This wouldn't be a bad snuff for beginners. You definitely smell a very good bourbon whiskey scent in the tin. So let's take a pinch while we listen to some auto harp music from Grandpa Jones. I bet you guys didn't know I play the auto harp. One of these days I'm going to torture you with an auto harp solo. That's crazy. It burns a little bit going in. The burn goes away instantly, and then you have this really nice Kentucky bourbon scent. And then 15-20 seconds later, there's no more scent other than the base tobacco. That's a problem I have with Toque snuffs in general, aside from the auto range. The persistence of aroma in Toque snuffs is not ever very good. The scent does not last. You get a nice base tobacco after the scent fades, but the aroma for which the snuff is named just never lasts very long. Now, I've done a little bit of this evening, and I will tell you that the nicotine on this is low to moderate. Now remember, I've got a higher than average tolerance for both auto harp and nicotine. And to me, this rates maybe a 3 on a 1 to 10 scale, where 1 is almost no nicotine and 10 is way too much. This is 3, 4. Also, it's not a snuff I think most people would want to use all day, every day. But that being said, on the Squinty scale, where 1 is disgusting and 5 is delicious, yeehaw, this is a 3. The only reason well, there's 2 reasons I can't give it a 4 or higher. The first reason is, despite the fact that the whiskey scent is really good, it doesn't last for squat. And that's going to take it down a notch as far as I'm concerned. Secondly, for most people, this cannot be an all-day, everyday snuff. In fact, there are some people for whom the smell of bourbon whiskey is actually nauseating. I suppose it has to do with how much whiskey you've consumed and how sick it made you, maybe. But a lot of people just don't find that sour corn smell of bourbon whiskey to be all that pleasant. I don't mind it. I actually like it, but not an all day, every day. Yes, I will finish this tin. It's perfectly acceptable snuff, but I will never buy this again. This is not going to be in my Toque top 10. So there you go. 3 out of 5 on the Squinty scale, 3 to 4 out of 10 on the nicotine scale. Actually, my ear is ringing a little bit after take number 5, and that's usually a pretty good sign that I've gotten some nicotine, but I'm not really feeling it. So there you go. I do want to tell you a little story about moonshiners before I let you go. The review is over, so if you're done with me, go ahead and leave. But be sure to hit that like button on the way out and leave a comment. I really like to read your comments. Here's a story about something called the promise tree. In moonshine country in Kentucky, the moonshiner does not want to be seen by the customer, and probably vice versa. So in most areas where there is moonshine bought and sold, there is a tree in the middle of a clearing in the woods somewhere where there is a hollow or a hollowed out space in the tree. And the way the transaction goes is this. If you want to get yourself some moonshine, jug of moonshine, you go and you leave your money in the hollow of the tree. Don't take a good look around. You just turn your ass around and walk out of the clearing as fast as you can. When you return 24 hours later, the correct amount of moonshine based on the amount of money you have left will be waiting for you in the hollow of the tree. Now, sadly, the promise tree is used these days more for selling methamphetamine and opiate pain pills than it is for moonshine. But the promise tree is a very real thing, and it does exist all over moonshining country in Kentucky. So that's my interesting story about hillbilly moonshiners and the promise tree. I hope you enjoy my videos. If you do, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the notification bell icon, leave me a comment. I'd love to hear from you. Again, Toque Kentucky Bourbon, 3 out of 5 on the Squinty scale, 3 to 4 out of 10 on the nicotine scale. From the Dank Basement, thank you for watching.